Talk to you right now. Ana Puig.
Hello, Tampa. It's such an honor and pleasure to be here today sharing with you some of my own life experiences and how it relates to what's happening in America today. I'm an American by choice, and today I give thanks to this great country for all the undiscriminating opportunities it has given me throughout my 20-plus years here. Unlike our president, I'm not here to apologize for America. Quite the contrary, I'm so proud to have fought to become an American citizen. I was born and raised in Brazil and came to this country in 1986 at the age of 14 years old to live with my uncle at West Point. My life in America couldn't have started in a better and more American place than the home of the long gray line, the home of heroes and true believers in duty, honor, country. While at West Point, I met my husband, a young cadet then, son of Cuban immigrants, refugees of the horrors of the bloody Che Guevara and Castro communist regime. 2 years later, I joined my parents and brother in California. Our family came here legally to be part of the American dream, and that's life, liberty, opportunity, and the pursuit of happiness. I did not come here to take advantage of the system or to change the system. I came here to be a part of this great system. And through tough times, hard work, and without any government handouts, we made it. And I feel like my family and I, we have lived the American dream. And we want to keep this dream alive for our children and grandchildren. During the campaign last year, just like Joe the plumber and so many of you out there, I decided to stop sipping my latte and scream at my TV. I decided that as a devout American citizen who has had the opportunity and misfortune to live outside American borders, that it was my duty to get off my couch and fight for freedoms that our founding fathers put in place for us and which are currently being hijacked by the current administration and Congress. So, on that note, let's talk about what we must do in order to avoid the traps laid down by the enemies of our uniquely American way of life. Our economic health and high unemployment rate have been and will continue to be important issues of concerns to all of us. If you think the economy is in trouble now, you ain't seen nothing yet. President Obama and the Democrat-controlled Congress are quickly destroying the economy of our nation with bailouts, stimulus bills, cap and trade, endless deficit spending, and now the takeover of our healthcare system, approved by no other than Fidel Castro, a communist himself. Don't be mistaken. The Chinese are paying close attention to what's happening in America. They are hedging against the obvious weakness they see in American economy and the dollar. If the media would do its job, this would not go unnoticed. But let's put the economy aside for a moment. Let's take a step back and also understand that we're suffering a national moral identity crisis in America today, identical to the revolution that my home country suffered. It came about through a well-planned Marxist program that took control of education, media communication, entertainment, and religion over the course of 2 generations. These days, I find myself astonished as I realize that there's a direct correlation between what is happening in the United States and what happened in Brazil and most of the rest of Latin America. I make no apologies. What's happening in America today is Marxism through and through. And I like to call it 21st century Marxism, a camouflage statement for communism, because people get all weary when I say the word communism. So let's camouflage it, since we're not fighting a bloody battle. Instead, we're fighting an ideological one. So, the model for implementation of 21st century Marxism is quite simple. First and foremost, the press is used to create economic instability. Then, a progressive candidate is introduced to the masses as the Messiah, who's going to regulate the evil capitalist system and fix all societal problems. This candidate has a political platform with plenty of social changes, that will fix the inequality between those who work hard and pay their taxes, like you and I, and those who have nothing because of the rich, to each according to their needs, from those according to their means. Everyone will be more equal and feel better about themselves. This Messiah is adored by the media and the entertainment industry, who unthinkingly and blindly preach his social programs to the masses. The election process itself is corrupted by voter fraud and intimidation. What did we see with Acorn here in 2008? Upon taking office, social programs are immediately implemented, benefiting those who helped get him elected, to the detriment of the tax-paying class that bears the bills and struggles to keep its standards of living. Look at the sweet deal the UAW got with General Motors. What we fail to realize at this point is that the campaign is not over. And that's the point that we're at today in America. An extremely clever and massive psychological campaign of self-exposure is needed in order to demonize any and all possible political opposition. The same media machine and available during the election now provides unaccountable hours of primetime TV and printed media space, assuring the necessary exposure. Our tax dollars, along with presidential status, will allow him to crisscross the world and the nation so that he can continue to market his cult of personality. Just this week, we saw him bowing to the Chinese communists, and hugging the Brazilian Marxists. At the same time, the image of a Messiah is branded into the minds of our children at our schools, assuring worship from future generations. The false image of a universally approved dear leader is created, making the opposition voices sound completely out of context. A majority-controlled legislative body passes necessary constitutional changes needed to increase the number of terms